you ever have those moments where like you start falling asleep, you start dreaming a little bit?
I know, I count
Sleep
that.
yet, and then you wake up from it and you're wide awake. It happened to me like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, and then you're like, did I sleep or not?
Yeah.
I thought Ed started it.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the January 2nd reorganization meeting of the Doylestown Township Board of Supervisors for 2024. Please help me to welcome the Honorable Jordan Yeager, Court of Common Pleas of Bucks County, who will officiate the swearing in of Jennifer Herring and Judy Dixon and Denise Glick. Your Honor, welcome. Jennifer Herring will go first, being senior, duly elected on November 2nd, 2023. 7th, excuse me, November 7th.
Stand over there. So Jen, you want to identify who you have with you?
I have my wonderful child, Millie, and my husband, Carl, and my mom and my sister, my niece, are out there, too.
All right. Well, welcome. All right. You want to put your hand on the Bible and raise your right hand?
This a little.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and that I will carry out my duties
and I will carry out my duties
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
All right, Judy, you want to?
And now Judy Dixon, also duly elected on November 7th, 2023.
All right, come on up. And you want to introduce who you have with you as well?
It's my good friend and neighbor Diane Plunkett, and my partner Jim Matthews, and many friends and supporters that have come today.
All right, well, welcome. Congratulations. You want to put your right hand on the Bible and put your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and that I will carry out my duties
and I will carry out my duties
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And now Denise Glick. Hello. How you doing?
All right, Denise, you want to identify this gentleman next to you?
This is my husband, Larry.
All right. All right, you want to put your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand? I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and that I will carry out my duties
and that I will carry out my duties
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Julie.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Happy New Year to you. They've all received their certificates of Board of Election.
Yes,
Okay.
they have.
All right, now everyone, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Again, welcome, everybody. Does anyone have any public comment to make on agenda items only? Seeing no hands, no voices raised, we'll move on to the next item. Announcements. The Board of Auditors are going to hold their reorganization meeting on Wednesday, January 3rd at 10 a.m. The next regular meeting of this board is Tuesday, January 16th at 7 p.m. The Township Administrative Offices will be closed on Monday, January 15th, 2024, for Martin Luther King Jr. celebration. Christmas tree drop-off can be at any time in New Britain Road, entrance to Central Park, until January 31st. Applications are now being accepted by the Doylestown Township Board of Supervisors for vacancies on some various boards and committees. Please check our website, doylestownpa.org, for those openings and information about each of the board and commission. Keep up to date with the township news and events. Sign up for e-news at doylestownpa.org. And it comes to your inbox every Friday at 4. It's loaded with information, and it's not overloaded with information. It's really stuff that you can use at a glimpse, and it's very helpful stuff. Okay, next item on the agenda is the reorganization of this board. And for the start of this activity, I'm asking that Stephanie Mason, Township Manager, serve as chairman.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to open up nominations for Chairman of the Board of Supervisors.
If I may, Madam Temporary Chairman, it has been my honor for the last 15 years to serve as chairman of this board, and I thank my predecessor supervisors for that privilege. I want to say from that position for the last 15 years, I've been supervisors, you know, for over 20 now, but from the position of chairman, I've had the unique and extraordinary opportunity to work very intimately with Stephanie Mason. And I can tell you, we all know how wonderful she is because we have a well-run, well-respected, wonderfully classy township. But from that position, I can tell you all the details, the things that she has to have at the tip of her fingers, and if she doesn't have it, she knows where to go, and her command of the law and the facts and the details. She knows all the issues and concerns of the residents, and almost more importantly, she knows all the details and concerns of the people she works with, whether they're in the water department or they're down the hall from her. So for the next chair, I hope you will see and use and be valued by that relationship. And with that, it is my pleasure to nominate Jennifer Herring as chairman of the Board of Supervisors for 2024.
Is there a second to that nomination?
I'll second that.
All in favor of the question? Oh, that's you. You call the question, sorry.
I will. First, I think I'm supposed to ask if there are any other nominations.
Sorry.
Seeing none, I will close nominations and call the question on the nomination of Jennifer Herring to serve as our next Board of Supervisors chairman. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It is unanimous. Congratulations. We will now pass the gavel.
We're going to switch seats for the next meeting. So we're not okay, Jennifer? Madam Chair?
Thank you. I just wanted to say a few words. Today, with profound gratitude and sense of duty, I accept the role of chairman with steadfast commitment to our beautiful community. I extend heartfelt thanks to my fellow board members for their trust in my ability to lead. Together, we embark on a journey to amplify the strengths of our diverse voices and build an inclusive, united community. Transparency, accountability, and open communication will continue to be the pillars of our governance, ensuring decisions reflect the best interests of our residents. With dedication, collaboration, and the support of this remarkable community, we will shape a future that honors our past while embracing the limitless potential that lies ahead. Thank you. And with that, I'd like to open nominations for vice chairman, and I would actually like to say a few words on that point. Over the course of the last 15 years, Barbara Lyons has been integral in our township's progress. Her steadfast leadership has played a crucial role in steering us towards success. Barbara's dedication to the prosperity of our township and its residents goes above and beyond the call of duty. Whether she's actively involved in serving hot dogs at events, passionately participating in the celebration of our bicentennial, or providing crucial assistance to those affected by storms, her commitment is unwavering. In my 6 years of witnessing her efforts, there have been countless instances of her going the extra mile, making a tangible difference to the lives of our residents. With great honor and conviction, I enthusiastically nominate Barbara Lyons for the position of Vice Chairman.
Thank you. I accept. Once there's a vote, I mean.
You need a second.
I'll second that motion.
Are there any other nominations?
I was going to actually nominate Dan Wood for vice chair. And one of the reasons I thought of Dan being vice chair is that we've talked a lot about succession, and there is no doubt Barbara has been an incredible leader and put a lot on her shoulders to really move the township forward. But when I think of the youth and I think of what Dan could represent and him growing up here, as he often references, the parks, the EAC, your knowledge of the township, I think you would be a wonderful addition, and I think Jen would be a wonderful mentor to you. So that's why I'd like to nominate Dan.
All right, we have, Dan, would you like to say something?
No, I'm fine. I mean, thank you, Nancy, but to be honest, I'm not interested in vice chair at this time for the time commitment. I just don't have that extra time to put in.
That's fair.
All right, we have a nomination for Barbara Lyons for vice chairman. I'll call the question. All in favor of Barbara Lyons for vice chairman?
Aye.
Thank you. I accept.
It's unanimous. All right, so we also have we're opening nominations for the Director of Public Safety. This role has traditionally followed the chair. Would anybody like to place some nominations?
I would like to nominate myself, actually. I worked closely with the chief and the department and the command for the last, several years. And we've been readying the command for a transition in 2024 to the chief's successor. I'd like to see that through. Chief retires on 10/4/24, and his successor will be put in place. And like I said, I would like to see that through this year, if I may, and nominate myself.
Are there any other nominations?
I would like to nominate Jen Herring for Director of Public Safety.
I second that.
Okay, are there any other nominations? Okay, I'll close the nominations. First call to question would be Director of Public Safety, Barbara Lyons.
There wasn't a second,
Oh, there's no.
so it's just,
Okay.
let's call the question.
Call the question for Jennifer Herring as Director of Public Safety.
Aye.
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 All right, thank you. Next on the agenda is the approval of minutes for December 19th, 2023. Has everybody had an opportunity to read them?
I have, yes.
Okay,
Make
any-
a motion to approve.
Okay, does anybody have any changes, corrections? I had a minor correction that was put in under Ms. Mannion's comments, but it was a typo, it wasn't anything of any significance. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
All right, second?
That was
Jen, or Barbara did it.
Barbara, motion, and your second, Judy? All right, call the question?
Aye.
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 I have to
Aye.
abstain. I wasn't here.
Okay, so the next item on our agenda is the proposed guidelines for supervisors, public meetings, and chairpersons for 2024. Has everybody had an opportunity to read through these proposed guidelines?
I have a, Madam Chairman, with one proposed amendment to number 3, paragraph A, subparagraph A. It currently reads under the heading of protocol. In order to promote efficiency and not incur unnecessary fees, the supervisors will direct questions and requests for assistance to the township manager and not the professional support staff. I would amend that last sentence, that the request for assistance to the township manager and not to other administration or professional support staff. Actually, administrative and not professional support staff. I make that in the form of a motion.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second it with that change.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And with that, I would recommend, I move that we adopt the rest of the guidelines in their total. With that
Is
one amendment.
there a second?
I'm sorry, can that be
We couldn't hear what
repeated?
you're saying,
Oh,
sorry.
sorry. So we just voted on the amendment, so now I move to have the rest of the guidelines in their totality be
Thank
moved
you.
in.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
The next on the agenda is to designate the board's areas of responsibility for 2024. These are the committee and commission liaison positions. So because we have a new board, there might be some changes, there will be some changes. So we'll go through this. Agricultural Security Advisory Board, Dan Wood was on that board as liaison in 2023. Would you care to continue?
I'm fine to continue on that.
All right. Do we have a motion to add have Dan Wood serve as liaison for the agricultural?
Make the motion.
May I suggest that we go through them all first and then vote?
Certainly. All right, so bike and hike, Dan Wood was in 2023. Would you like to continue?
I can continue, or if somebody else would like to pick that up, I'm also fine with that.
Is there someone that would like to? Judy?
Yeah, I would like to pick that up.
Okay. Capital Campaign Committee, Dan Wood. Is there anyone else that would be interested?
That would be you, Judy.
Would you be interested in the Capital Campaign Committee?
What, can I get the time commitment on that? Because I didn't see anything on that.
It's hit or miss and when it's needed.
Okay.
No, we don't have regular meetings. We schedule them as we need. And it can be whatever you want to put into it. Dan has not been able to make any of the meetings, so.
I made one, thank you.
Any that any one or two that you can make will be a welcome addition, I'm sure.
I would,
And a lot of it we're doing by telephone and remotely, stuff like that, okay?
yes.
So I think you would be more active than the one that we have currently.
Yes, I'm good with that.
Some of us do have regular work hours.
All right, so the next committee is the Dog Park Advisory Committee. That was Ryan Mannion was liaison for that.
I'll do the dog and park.
I'm afraid not, Nancy. And dog park people do not want you working for them.
I'm sorry, these are volunteer positions, Barbara. I'm an elected official, and I have every right to serve in my role.
All right, I've said all I could say.
Is there anybody else interested in the dog park? I'll volunteer to serve as dog park liaison.
Excuse me, so you override me, Jen? Is that what we're doing?
No, we'll be voting on it.
Okay, sorry, I didn't hear you.
Doylestown Township Municipal Authority, Barbara Lyons serves on that.
I would
currently as liaison.
continue to serve.
I'd like to be considered for that as well.
Okay?
The Environmental Advisory Council, I'm currently sitting as liaison.
I would like to, if you are willing to give it up.
Absolutely. Wonderful group. Finance Committee, I'm currently serving on that. I would like to continue. If there's any other interest, please let me know.
I'm interested in the Finance Committee.
Okay. Friends of Kids Castle, Ryan Mannion was the prior liaison.
Yeah, I would like to serve on that.
Okay. Local Traffic Advisory Committee, Ryan Mannion was the prior liaison.
I would like to serve on that.
I would like to be considered for that as well.
Park and Recreation Board, Ryan Mannion served on that prior.
I would like to take that one on, if I may.
Anybody else? Pension Advisory Committee, I was liaison in 2023.
I would consider doing that. I did that
also have
before.
interest in maintaining that.
Are you keeping track of the voting on these?
I am. Yeah. Mhm.
Because I'm not.
No, I've got it. Personnel and Administration, that usually follows the chair. Barb Lyons was on that. I would like to take that. Planning Commission, I'm the liaison, or for 2023, I was liaison. Does anybody have interest?
I have an interest in that as well.
Anyone else?
Would you like to stay on it, Jen, or no?
I would be happy to have someone else.
Tuesday nights for that one, right?
Planet,
Monday of the month.
Every Monday, yeah, I have time to do that.
okay, so you're interested? Mm-hmm. Okay. And public safety,
I'd like to serve as liaison for public safety to the public safety director.
the public safety liaison,
Well, it's public safety liaison.
yeah, but that typically is the chair as well, correct?
No, well, it has been, but it doesn't have to be. You're director and chair, and I could be the liaison. What do you think?
That sounds fair.
Okay.
All right. Public Water and Sewer Advisory Board, currently, or 2023 was Dan Wood. Anybody else interested?
I'm interested if Dan is willing to give it up.
I'm willing to give it up if you have time. That's
I-
fine.
Yes, I would do it.
Okay, Roads and Bridges,
I can continue to handle that.
okay. Telecommunications Advisory Board,
Happy to stay on as their liaison.
okay. And Veterans Advisory Committee was Ryan Mannion, 2023.
I'd be interested in doing that one.
Is there anybody else interested in the Veterans Advisory Committee?
I am. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, so we have several that are, pretty straightforward votes. I have Dan Wood for Agricultural Security Advisory Board, Judy Dixon for Bike and Hike Committee, Judy Dixon for Capital Campaign Committee. I have Judy Dixon for Environmental Advisory Committee. I have Dan Wood for Friends of Kids Castle, Barbara Lyons for Park and Rec Board. I have Personnel and Administration, that's from me. Public Safety, Barbara Lyons. Public Water and Sewer Advisory Board, Judy Dixon. Roads and Bridges, Dan Wood. And Telecommunications Advisory Board, Barbara Lyons. Can I get a motion to approve all of those?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and then we'll go one by one with the others. Dog Park Advisory Committee,
I'll withdraw from that, that's fine.
okay. Looking to get a motion for Jen Herring for Dog Park Advisory Committee Liaison?
So moved.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Doylestown Township Municipal Authority, do I have a motion for Barbara Lyons or Nancy Santa Cecilia?
I'll make a motion for Barb Lyons.
Second.
All in favor?
Nay.
Aye. Okay. That one was that 4 and 1?
That's correct.
4 and 1, okay. The next is the Finance Committee. The two people interested is me and Nancy Santa Cecilia. Can I hear a motion on that?
I move that Jen Herring be liaison on the Finance Committee.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is that 4 and 1?
That's correct.
Thank you. Local Traffic Advisory Committee, the two people interested in that are Judy Dixon and Nancy Santa Cecilia. Can I get a motion?
Move that Judy Dixon be serve as the liaison to the Traffic Advisory Committee.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nay.
4-1. The next is the Pension Advisory Committee. The two interested are Jennifer Herring and Nancy Santa Cecilia. Can I get a motion?
I
Before
move
we
that,
make the motion, I'd like to just state for the Pension Advisory Committee, the reason I stepped up to be part of that, Jen, is that 2 years ago, when we were looking for an advisor, I was able to attend every single meeting when we interviewed all of those different companies and organizations that came, and your job didn't afford you that opportunity. Now that we're back into that situation, I bring that history in, and that is why I'm interested, because it's so important to be able to be part of that, and I have that history, so that's why I'd really like to be a part of that. And it looks like you have a pretty full plate, so I'd appreciate that consideration.
Thank you, Nancy. Can I get a motion?
I forget, where were we?
We're at the Pension Advisory.
Pension Advisory?
I move that, to you?
Yes.
I move that Jennifer Herring serve as liaison to the Pension Advisory Committee.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is that 4-1?
Correct.
Thank you. Planning Commission, the two interested in the Planning Commission are Dan Wood and Nancy Santa Cecilia.
I move Dan Wood serve as liaison to the Planning Commission.
I'd like to also state that I've been attending all of the planning meetings. It's very obvious what's happening here. I'm really disappointed. I was hoping with new leadership, there would be an opportunity for transparency, that every elected official would have an opportunity to help with the direction of the township. I believe if we had our solicitor here, I'd be asking from an ethics perspective if the fact that I'm being blocked from being able to participate as a liaison, if that's an issue. So I will take that up. But you can certainly are welcome to continue with the voting. I
This has been the case
just want to
the past
concern
2
my,
years.
express my frustration.
Thank you, Nancy. Planning Commission, the two interested are Nancy Santa Cecilia and Dan Wood. Do I have a motion?
Move that Dan, didn't I already do this?
Did you?
we did.
Okay, do I have a
Need
second?
Need second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No.
And the last committee is the Veterans Advisory Committee. The two parties interested are Barbara Lyons and Nancy Santa Cecilia. Can I get a motion?
Again, I would like to state, sorry, before you start the motion, 2 years ago, I brought the resolution to start the Veterans Committee. And then this past October, I brought a resolution to recognize the veterans' families, military families and veterans. I've been deeply committed to that, and I would appreciate the opportunity to serve with the veterans. So I just want to share that.
Thank you, Nancy. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion for Barb Lyons.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. 4-1. All right, thank you, everybody. So the next item on the agenda are township appointments. I would like to vote on items 1 through 15, and then separately on the remainder. Actually, 1 through 15 and 17 through 20. Vote on those separately.
Separately?
Oh, those together, I'm sorry.
So moved.
Yes. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so township appointments separated from the remainder is item number 16. Is there a motion? We have had interest from Begley Carlin as well as Rudolph Clark. That information is in our packets as far as their interest.
I'd like to make a motion that we contract with Rudolph Clark for Township Solicitor. They do a lot of municipal law. They have a lot of local clients, Newtown, Jenkintown Borough, Abington Township, Falls Township. They have a good reputation. I think it would be a good for the township.
Do I have a second?
May I speak to the motion before there's a second?
Absolutely.
They seem fine, this company, and I understand that they're going to hold the same rates as we have been currently charged from the Begley Carlin outfit, and that that commitment is for 1 year. I would like to know what their second, third, and fourth year would look like in terms of fee raise, retainer required. I also want to know how many of the meetings the guy that we're hiring is going to be attending rather than somebody down the line, and on what occasions this person who we're hiring to be here, wherever, sitting here, that person would be excused and another person would be sent. So, and then I also would like to know the hourly rates of the folks that are not that guy, if that all makes sense.
Mr. Clark is here. Would you like to come up to the microphone?
Did you get all that?
That's fine.
Good evening. I'm Michael Clark. I'm the managing partner of Rudolph Clark. Ms. Lyons, to your question about our rates, what we always do when we go into a new municipality is we take the year to look at what the old rate schedule was and to see if it is working for the township. Sometimes we find that the retainer may be too high, and we suggest that the retainer be reduced. Sometimes we find that the retainer is a little low, and we make suggestions to do what we think is in the municipality's best interest, but also in our best interest. As far as what our rates will be in year 2 or 3 or 4, that'll be entirely up to the board. If at some point in time we feel we would like to ask for a rate increase or a rate adjustment, it's always done as a request. It's never done as a demand. With tonight being reorganization throughout southeastern Pennsylvania, some of our clients have held their rates steady for going into 2024. Some have made adjustments or what we've requested, and some have made adjustments that are a little less than we requested. So it's always very collaborative with the elected officials. I plan on attending all of the meetings. Maybe when I'm on vacation or if I'm sick, someone else may appear in my place. But it's my intention to attend all the meetings. We also have a colleague with me this evening, Harrison Fontix, one of the attorneys in my office. We always send 2 attorneys to every meeting, but we only bill you for the 1 attorney being there. The rate that we would charge for me would be the same rate that we would charge for all of the other attorneys. That's my understanding that that's what the current arrangement has been with your solicitor. If the township is interested in more of a tiered structure based on the amount of experience for given attorneys, we'd be happy to discuss that as well. And I think I covered all your questions.
Yeah, thanks for your explanation. With that, I'd second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. And yeah, I think I would be interested in a tiered level of charge. I would personally.
Maybe you can invite them to an exec session, Jen. We could just ask some questions and get to know them. I'd appreciate that.
Does he approach now?
Pardon?
Yeah.
Clark, does he come up?
Yes.
Yes.
You can take your seat, Mr. Clark. Thank you. Next item on the agenda are appointments to boards and commissions for 2024. I would like to vote on items 1 through 14, 16, and 17, pulling out the vacancy board. Can I get a motion on these appointments?
Can I ask a quick question before we do the motion? I noticed that, like, for the Veterans Committee, there are only 1-year appointments. Parks, we have 5-year. I also don't know, and either you or Barbara could enlighten me, is there any protocol, or maybe if someone misses so many meetings, they're asked to step down so someone else can have an opportunity? I think with the rec center project, with just the community in general, people are invested and want to be part of committees. And in order for people to have that opportunity, I just want to be transparent as possible. So if someone misses so many meetings, are they asked to step away and we open it up again? Like,
We do have, I'll actually have
Yeah.
Stephanie answer that.
Yes. So we have our boards and commissions volunteer handbook, which was adopted by the Board of Supervisors, and each volunteer receives that. In there, it does indicate that if they miss 3 meetings, there could be questioning. And typically what we do is we communicate with the chairman, and the chairman talks to the member of the committee and discusses with them perhaps the reason. Sometimes they're ill. They might have something else, and we work with the member because they're a resident, and like you said, they're concerned and committed to serving as a volunteer on a board or committee.
So thank you. I thought it was 3. I couldn't quite remember. So for instance, we have that, I think, with the planning committee, with one of our members who's going to be missing for 3 due to a commitment. So, but this isn't for now.
Correct.
It would be something I'd want to talk about, because I do think before we approve the people, I just wanted to make sure that that was,
Yes, we have-
on the record.
We have
Madam
policies.
Chairman, would you mind restating the motion?
I'm looking for a motion to approve as stated in our packet, numbers 1 through 14, 16, and 17 for the appointments.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Point of order.
Yes?
Chairperson for the EAC is on that list. Do we vote for him separately?
Typically, I think you
Okay.
do.
Yeah.
Yes.
So can we pull that one
We'll
out?
pull that out as well.
And then also, well, the VAC is not, you stopped at 14. Can we just pull that one out? Okay.
Okay.
So-
So the motion is to approve the appointments as stated in our packet for items 1 through 14, 16, and 17, and we will be doing a separate motion for the chair for EAC.
Sorry, another point of order. Each new item, like the vacancy board needs a separate vote.
Yes.
And the Veterans Advisory Addition needs a separate vote, and the EAC both needs a separate vote. So I would move that those three be pulled
I
out
see.
of the entire voting chain.
Okay.
1 through whatever, 17, whatever it is.
So
That makes
you're
it
asking that we vote on 5, 15, and 16 separate?
5, 15, is that what it is?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's
Is
pull
that the
those out.
motion?
Yeah, pull those out and we'll do them separate. That would be my motion.
Do we have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, let's vote on the EAC Shade Tree Commission. Let's start with the chairperson appointment. James Baldessari was voted on as the chairperson for the EAC at the last EAC meeting, and we would need to vote on that. So is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
5-0. The next is the vacancy board. There's interest from Tanya Cassis, who is a former member of our EAC and a very active member of our community, as well as Wallace Pattison.
I move that Tanya Cassis serve as this vacancy chair.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
5-0. The Veterans Advisory Board, do I have a motion on the appointment?
I move that Joe Volk be appointed to the Veterans Advisory Board.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Does that motion have to include everybody else as well that we're appointing, since we didn't technically vote on that yet? Do we have to do that in 2 separate votes, or can we just do it 1?
So
I think you could.
we
do it as
voted
a-
already for everybody else, didn't we?
Not for
We pulled
Veterans
that one.
Advisory.
No, we pulled the whole thing. So the whole thing, including Joe Volk.
Yep.
Yes.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. All right, so next item on the agenda is the administrative office hours and meeting dates. Do I have a motion on approval of the dates as specified in our packet?
I'll make the motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next item is designation of depository. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, appointment of Bucks County Tax Collection Committee representatives. Currently, in 2023, with Stephanie Mason as representative, Ken Wallace as alternate, and myself as second alternate. Is anybody else interested in that position? No?
I move that the current committees serve as the committee for 2024.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Could you do the resolution? So it'd be, I guess it mirrors the resolution, just so you know.
So read the
The
resolution.
appointment basically mirrors the resolution, but I think we need a motion on the resolution separately.
All right,
I move for the approval of Resolution 2559.
for a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, the next item on the agenda is to certify delegates to the state annual convention and establish one voting delegate. Do I have any interest in being a voting delegate, and anyone being a voting delegate?
I have an interest, I'm sorry. If you have an interest,
Oh,
you can.
no, by all means.
Yes, I'd be happy to do it.
All right, is there anyone else? All
I
right,
move that Judy Dixon serve as our voting delegate to PSETS.
wonderful. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so the next item is the appointment of Fire Company Number 1 Fire Police, based on the memo from our chief to Barbara Lyons. Do I have a motion for the appointment?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so the next is the resolution to amend our fee schedule. Is there a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. The next item is resolution for our 2024 compensation for professional services.
I move for the approval of the resolution for professional professional services, resolution number 2558.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The IRS mileage has changed again, so I'm looking for a motion on setting our current IRS, our current mileage to match the IRS.
I'll make that motion to set at the IRS rate of 67 cents per mile.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, the next is I'll be looking for a motion for the designation of our official 2024 township holidays when our building is closed.
I'm sorry, did I say that out loud?
Pardon? Okay, do I have a motion?
Yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. So the next item is the Police Affairs Committee for 2023. The Director of Public Safety, Barbara Lyons, was on the committee. Board member Ryan Mannion was on the committee, and board member Jennifer Herring was on the committee, looking to fill those slots for 2024. Do I have a motion?
I'm happy to serve as a board member of the Police Affairs Committee for 2024.
Is there another member of our board that's interested?
I can do it if nobody else is interested.
And I will serve as the Director of Public Safety. Can I get a motion on Jennifer Herring for Director of Public Safety, Board Member Barbara Lyons, and Board Member Dan Wood for our Police Affairs Committee?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There is, the next item on the agenda is to recommend the treasurer's bond of $3 million. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So the next item is new business, DTMA planning module. Have we all had a chance to look at that information?
May I speak to this, Madam Chairman?
Absolutely.
This is actually a very exciting what's going on here. The planning module approval is necessary for deadline application to PennVest, which is a low interest rate funding source for particular and special projects that are, sponsored by the DEP. And Doylestown Township Municipal Authority is taking on, as you all well know, a huge infiltration system to start clearing out PFAS from the water that we serve for our community. And the PennVest loan here, this application, is going to go a long way in getting the funding for that important infiltration system. So it took a yeoman effort to get this all in place. The deadline for the application for the loan is tomorrow. So it's important that this got approved tonight. And if anybody needs any more detail, I have Joe Van Houten here, it's Keith Haas. So if I did anything wrong, so let me know. But I would put that in the form of a motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is public comment, all items. Is there any public comment? Yes, please. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Stephen White. I was employed by the township from 1974 to 2012. The last 25 years, I was chief of police here. I want to acknowledge the leadership and the dedication that Barbara Lyons has had as not only as the chairman of the Board of Supervisors, but as the director of public safety. We worked hand in hand for many years. Dean Logan has done an outstanding job as chief of police for the last 12 years. But I think that we'd be remiss if the police department didn't acknowledge not only the leadership of Barbara, but the friendship and the guidance that she gave all of us. I had an amazing career here in Doylestown Township from a very young man to a rather old chief of police. And I was always very grateful for Barbara's guidance and direction as the Director of Public Safety, and I want to just acknowledge that tonight. Thank you, Barbara, and it was with deep gratitude I acknowledge your service as Chairman of the Board and as the Director of Public Safety. It was well done, and I want to thank you.
And thanks, Steve. Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Or come, yep.
Steve Sanaciro, Lower Makefield Township. I'm not here tonight to announce a grant.
Oh.
Yeah, right. But, and I apologize because apparently Judge Yeager is more punctual than I am. I missed the swearing in by about 5 minutes, I think. But I did want to first, what the chief just said, thank you, Barbara, for your leadership of the township and your role as chair over these last years and what you've done for Doylestown Township. So I want to thank you for that and working
You're
with
welcome.
our office over that time as well. And I want to congratulate Chair Herring on your reelection and also on your election tonight as chair. I know this is an important responsibility that you take very seriously, and I look forward to working with you in this new capacity as well. And of course, I want to congratulate our new supervisor, Judy Dixon. Judy, I had the pleasure of meeting Henrik outside. For those of you who don't know, that would be Judy's grandson. And
He was also 5 minutes late.
he was awesome. I'm not going to ask when. But we took a look at some very cool pictures, and he identified a puppy, which was kind of neat. So that was fun. But in all seriousness, with this beginning of this new year and this new board, I want to congratulate all of you and thank you all for your service, and to let you know my office continues to stand ready to work with Doylestown Township and Stephanie, your manager, and very excited about that. So congratulations, Happy New Year, and thank
Happy
you.
New Year.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you very much.
Do we have any other public comment? All right, hearing none. I guess this meeting will be
So moved.
Thank you, everybody, and Happy New Year.
Thank you.
And I would be remiss to remind the board,
And what do we have to sign?
we have documents to be signed.
Judy, your first document signing.